Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to the new video. I'm the Casual Racing Gamer, and today we're probably gonna have some heated debate here. And I'm gonna be discussing the Thrustmaster T598 direct drive wheel and the issues that I see with the release of this wheel. Obviously Thrustmaster coming in there with their first direct drive wheel for console, and that's gonna be the most important part of this video, right? Direct drive from Thrustmaster for console. Now, let me just start by saying this. If you guys are having that heated debate down in the comments, just be respectful of one another. Good debates, good opinions, as long as they're respectful. You know, I like to have conversation. That's what this channel and this community is all about. Even if we don't agree, we can still be civil to each other and, of course, respect everyone's opinion. So I just want to get that out of the way because I appreciate and just love all the comments that people leave down below. Even if you don't agree with me, I am totally fine with that. But I'm going to give you my opinion, and then you can give me your opinion, because when I heard Thrustmaster was releasing a direct drive wheel for console, you know, I was doing backflips. I was so excited. I'm already in the Thrustmaster ecosystem, right? I already have wheel rims. I already have the Thrustmaster TLCM load cell pedal set. So I'm like, okay, great. All I need is them to release a direct drive base, and I can just hook my current stuff up to it, and I'm expecting something good, right? So Thrustmaster comes out with their announcement of the direct drive wheel. They're bringing a new concept of direct axial drive, which is just kind of changing things up with the way the direct drive works. It's still a direct drive wheel, and I don't even know where to start here. So my first thing is they're coming in with a wheel for console. Now, for me, the most important thing is how it runs on console, right? This wheel by Thrustmaster, no one's going to go out and run out and buy this wheel for a PC. It's not available for Xbox yet, so that's not even going to be in this conversation. But no one's going to run out and buy this $500 5 Newton meter wheel by Thrustmaster direct drive for a PC. There is so many PC options out there, much stronger, much higher torque wheels at great affordable prices from a ton of different manufacturers. When we're talking about console, we're very limited to who we can buy for console. So for me, Thrustmaster has to come in and give us a competitive wheel that's going to match, you know, that's going to match Fanatec and match the Logitech. Now, obviously, the Logitech wheels are way more expensive, so I'm expecting something more affordable from Thrustmaster. So when they came out and they said, we have this wheel coming out for $500 and it's direct drive, I was so excited. And I'm sure everyone else is so excited, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to love to get their hands on this wheel. So to me, it's like, okay, so as a current user of a Thrustmaster TGT2, I'm expecting them to come out, even if the price is less expensive, they're coming out with a new technology saying it costs less to make because of this technology, because it uses less copper, so a less expensive way to make a wheel. I'm expecting them to at least give me at least the same torque or the same power as I'm getting from a TGT2. Now, of course, the TGT2 is a belt-driven wheel. It's going to feel different, but I'm expecting when I put my hands on that T598 to get a better overall experience. So when I heard that it was a 5 Newton meter wheel, I said, well, the price is low, so I guess this is where they're starting. Now, my issue with this is console sim races, I think, are growing. I think GT7, I think PSVR 2 has really introduced players to console sim racing to say that, hey, we have a market here. We can definitely... There's sim races that can appreciate and enjoy sim racing in the console world. I think before, because console power just wasn't as strong as it is now, you know, everyone was just going to PC if you wanted to sim race. But I think consoles can handle sim racing really well. And in VR, it performs on PSVR 2 better than a lot of your PC setups out there, probably, unless you're running a high-end PC, you know, thousands of dollars. It competes with mid-range PCs. The VR is unbelievable what they can accomplish on PlayStation 5. So Thrustmaster releases their T598, 5 Newton meters. Console, of course, if you're not buying this for console, I don't know why you're buying this. So my biggest thing is, Well, it's got to play the best on GT7, right? So what I don't understand is why this wheel releases without full GT7 support. That to me is mind-boggling that it's not a fully supported wheel yet in GT7. So how do we know how well it's going to perform in GT7? Well, we don't. We can assume and say it's going to perform better than it's performing now, hopefully. But we don't know that because it's not available for us to even choose as an option. So we have to choose a TGT2 in order to use the Thrustmaster T598 direct drive wheel. That's confusing to me. That is so confusing why you would not get full support from Gran Turismo 7, which is the game you're probably targeting, right? That's the game you're going to be targeting for console currently until we get GT8, right? Gran Turismo 8. That's going to be the next game. But like we're targeting GT7 right now. That's got to be the target audience. And it's probably the most popular sim racing game on PlayStation. So it just boggled my mind why we don't have full support for that game. Now, we're talking about the TGT2, which is what I'm coming from. Now, as you've seen one of my last videos, I went back to my TGT2. The power I get from the TGT2 to me is it just feels better. I feel my car better. I feel the weight of my car. I feel my tire grip better. And we all know, you guys have probably seen so many videos and reviews on the T598. Oh, it's so smooth. It's so smooth. It's so smooth. But the smoothness, you're lacking detail. You're lacking feeling. You're lacking grip. Exiting, out of turns, getting your foot on the throttle, you don't feel grip. Yes, it's very smooth, but I haven't heard anyone ever complain about a direct drive wheel that's not smooth. We know it's going to be smooth. Yes, it uses direct axle drive, so you don't get the cogging, but has anyone ever complained about the cogging while they're actually racing? It's something you probably feel when the wheel is not on, but once, the software overrides that, I've never heard anyone complain about a direct drive wheel not being smooth and not being, having quick reaction to what's going on in the game. Now, people say, oh, I got a T598. I found myself catching slides so much quicker now. When I used the T598, I found myself sliding so much more because I didn't feel the weight of the car. I didn't feel the grip at mid to low speeds. So I found myself sliding more, needing to catch the slide. When using my TGT2, I can immediately feel when my tires were losing grip, where I didn't have to actually catch the slide. I just avoid the slide. So, that's something, to consider there. Is the T598 a good wheel? Yes, it's a good entry-level wheel. I think it is better than a lot of the less expensive entry-level wheels, but I wanted something better than the TGT2. I wanted something with the higher torque. I think they should have released an 8 Newton meter wheel at a minimum. They have a T818 for PC that runs at 10 Newton meters. I don't know why. I think console sim races need to be taken more seriously. I think console sim racers are spending money. They are spending money on good sim racing equipment. And I think a lot of people are already in the Thrustmaster ecosystem where they don't need to buy a whole set. And that's going to lead me to my next issue with the T598. But I don't know why we wouldn't get something as good as, or at least maybe not as good as, just an 8 Newton meter to run against the Fanatec 8 Newton meter. And if they're running at a direct axle drive, which is supposed to be less expensive to make, then, why not beat that Fanatec price? Now for PC, the T818 for the base only, I think it resales for like $650 US dollars. I think if you release a T598, except at an 8 Newton meter level, and just the base alone, and you said, hey, $600 for this base, 8 Newton meters, I think that's where this needed to be. I think that would have been like an explosion of Thrustmaster coming in to this console direct drive game seriously. At a $600 base, maybe hit the $700-800 mark with pedals and a rim. But I think a lot of people are already in the Thrustmaster ecosystem where they already have the load cell pedals. They already have rims. And that's my next issue is the T598. why are we releasing it without load cell pedals? So we can't buy the base only, right? So we have to buy it with the pedals. Now, if you have a TLCM pedal set, you're not going to use the pedals that it comes with, right? Because they're not load cell. You're going to use your TLCM pedals. You spent the money on it. They're load cell. They have 3 pedals. You have a brake, you have an accelerate, you have acceleration, and you have a clutch if you want to use it. So you have a 3 pedal set already that you spent money on. And if you have it, you're going to use it. So now you have these pedals that you got to buy with the T598. And if you have a rim that's compatible with it, or if you can buy an adapter to make it compatible, well, now you also have to take the rim that it comes with. Now, that's great for people who have nothing. And of course, it's releasing as the base only in the future, but why wouldn't that be available immediately? If somebody wants to hop right into it, they're forced to buy a whole kit where they're not going to use all the parts, and they're going to spend, they need to spend extra money. So how much is this base only going to be without the pedals and without the wheel? I don't know. Is it going to knock $100 off, $150 off? Sure, base only at $350 at 5 Newton meters. Okay, you hook your other stuff up and you're good, but you have to spend $500 minimum to get this, even if you're not going to be using all the pieces in it. So to me, it's a little surprising they didn't just release the base on its own. And again, if you split things up, why we don't get an 8 Newton meter option with this base, which is what it probably should have released at. And I think if you charge another $100 to give us 8 Newton meters for the base only, $800 for the set, I think a lot of people are picking up the base only at $600 because they already have stuff. And even at $800, you're now competing with the price of a TGT2. And with everything, I think even, $750, $700 even. If direct axle drive costs less money to make than your standard current direct drive wheels, then you should be able to beat the Fanatec prices of their 8 Newton meter wheel. Another thing to discuss is why we have harmony in the T598 that's discussed from Thrustmaster, but no one really knows what it is because it's not active anywhere. So the only thing we hear about is, well, it's gonna be coming. They're gonna have harmony. It's gonna be like the transducer in TGT2 or something. It's gonna vibrate high frequencies. No one knows how it's going to actually work. Right now, it's just word of mouth. I don't even know if it's such a thing, and I have no idea what it's going to actually do. So it's hard to bring in harmony and how they're going to use that technology, what games it's going to be compatible with. So it's hard to even bring that into the conversation. But the TGT2 having a transducer, I think they should have kept that going forward in any wheel that they make going forward, and make that compatible with multiple games, not just GT7, but any game or lots of games, the way Logitech uses their True Force, and it is compatible with more games than just GT7. I think the immersion that it offers, the feeling that you get, it's not just a vibration feeling that you're like, oh, I just vibrate and I feel myself like I'm driving a car. It actually is effective, and you can feel the road, like you feel the surface, you actually feel grip, you feel things, you feel the change in the vibration level when you're driving. I think it's an unbelievable technology that is so awesome in sim racing, and I don't know why you wouldn't continue to use that technology. Can Harmony deliver that technology? Maybe, but we don't know because we haven't been able to see it yet. So that, to me, that's another thing. I don't know why they wouldn't get that working. In addition, why not offer a load cell pedal set immediately? If you're not giving the option for people to not purchase the pedal set, you have to buy it. Why not release it with the load cell pedal? Even if it's $50 more, we say we charge $550, comes with a load cell pedal set. I think that makes it so much more appetizing as a set, as opposed to I'm getting pedals that I'm just going to throw in the garbage for now because I don't need them. I'm not going to use them. And they're not better than my current pedals that I can hook up to this wheelbase. Now, if the TLC and pedal set wasn't compatible with it, I can understand. Then you have to buy the pedals and then wait for a load cell. But because your current load cell pedals are compatible, just another questionable thing is why didn't you release this with the load cell pedal? Some arguments I can possibly hear people saying already is if they went with 8 Newton meters, the base is going to have to be bigger, and it's already big enough. Like, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but if that is the case and the base has to grow bigger based on Newton meters, then this technology is not the best technology if it doesn't have room to grow. So I'm going to assume that they can keep the size the same and eventually in time possibly shrink it if you want to grow the technology, because you can't just say I have a 5 Newton meter base, I'm coming out with this new technology, but we can't go any stronger because it's going to be too big and this is the best we can deliver. I'm assuming they're going to be able to deliver more power at a higher torque, higher Newton meter with direct axle drive technology. So you know, I don't think that's going to be a good argument, because if they're stuck at 5 Newton meters, I think then why go to a new technology if you can't grow it? You have to think future, you have to think growing, you have to think, we just came with this new technology to sim racing. We're going to want to grow it to better and stay with this technology and not go backwards after saying this is the future. So I don't think that's going to be a good argument of why they didn't go stronger. But, you know, I don't know what you guys think, but for me, as you know, I went back to my TGT2. For me, the grip is better. The feel of the car is better. The handling to me is better. You know, yes, the T598 is smooth, but it doesn't mean you have better control of your car because it's smooth. All direct drive wheels are going to be smooth. I think it's a good upgrade over less expensive wheels if you have lower, you know, but if you guys have like a T300 or a T150 and you have your TLC and pedals, it would be so much better if you can just buy it without the pedal set. But I already said that stuff. So, you know, let me know your opinion, guys. Like I said, this is going to be this is a very controversial discussion, and people are going to love their T598, and I know people are going to defend it, and I'm 100% fine with you guys defending the wheel. I just wanted to it's just been some things that have just been sticking in my head lately about the release of this, because I was really looking forward to jump to a Thrustmaster direct drive wheel, and I just wanted more. I thought I was going to get more power, and I wanted something that was going to say, I'm going to be able to stick with this, you know, as my main wheel going forward. Not, I'm going to stick with this for now, but if I still want something else, I need something stronger, I'm going to purchase something if they release. Like, I wanted this to be the one that I stick with. So right now, you know, if they update GT7 with the T598, yes, I'll go back to it. I'll reevaluate the wheel. I'll see if the changes feel better in the game, if it's something that I would stick to after GT7 supports it. Will there be big difference in feeling of the wheel now or when they come out with updates? We already got a GT7 update. It did not have an update for the T598. I thought we were going to see one in the last update, but we didn't. So again, guys, if you enjoyed the video, thumb it up. Even if you don't agree with me, you can still thumb it up. I really appreciate it. Subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. We out of here. Peace.